Well, good afternoon. This is Sebring Slot Cars Shop Talk today. My buddy Steve is not available today, so it's just you and me. And we're going to see if we can get everything set up right. Maybe you can see a little bit of my side profile. So what we're doing today is we're going to talk tires, and specifically foam tires. Foam tires, we use foam tires on the plywood tracks because we get the best traction with foam. But when you talk about foam, there's all kind of different foam tires. And so you got to be careful about what you're talking about specifically. And so in the foam tires, the softest would be your natural, sometimes called fish. But your natural is going to be your softest, and then you're going to have treated, which would be a natural rubber that's treated with a chemical substance. And then you would have wonder rubber, which normally is most commonly in medium or as the most common size. And then you would have, I've got from JB Products, I've got soft wonder and medium wonder. And so what I thought we would do is we would test some of these tires and just kind of get an idea where we're at on the rubber compound. And so I've got my durometer here. There's the durometer. And so I'm going to measure these tires. I'm going to measure the firmness of the rubber, and we'll talk about them. This is a slotted tire. This is a SP30. And the slotted measures about 26 on the scale. And I think the SP30, I believe, is a wonder rubber, but I'm going to write these down where we can talk about them later. Okay. Now we're going to take and test a natural. This is the JK brand. And we're going to test a uncut donut, if I can get it out of the bag. I'm leaving them in the bag so I don't get them mixed up, so I know which one we're talking about. So this one is about a 15. So JK Natural is 15. Okay, so we'll put the natural up. Let's go to the treated and see what the treated measures. All right, so now we're going to test the treated. The treated is about 16. So it's not much firmer than the natural, but it is a hair. Okay, now let's go to the we'll go to the Mid-America Wonder Rubber and test Mid-America. All right, so the Mid-America is about between 18 and 19. We'll call it 18. All right, let's test the JB Products Soft. The JB Products Soft is about a 17. Which we expected to be slightly softer than the medium. We'll test the JB Wonder now, or medium, JB Medium Wonder. And it's about an 18. Now, and then I think we got JK Wonder. Let's see what JK's doing. This should be a medium also, around 18 probably. Oh no, that one's firmer. That's 24. That's a firm Wonder. That surprised me. Okay. And that's a brand new unopened bag. So let me talk a little bit. Okay, we'll test. We can even test these. These are Scale Auto. See if I can get in there. This is a Scale Auto yellow. We'll test it. It's 21 and a half. And we'll test a Scale Auto Red here in just a second. All right, Scale Auto Red, here we go. Around about 26. $25 to $26. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the hardness of rubber for a moment. Why do you need so many different tires? Why do you need so much different hardness? Why do you need all? What's the advantages of different rubbers? So let me help you understand a little bit. When most people come to a slot car track and they're new, usually what the shop's going to do is they're going to put them on a natural. And so a natural is going to be one of your softest rubbers, and it's going to give them the most traction. It's going to keep them from swinging the back end and not pulling the car out of the slot because they swung the back end too far. What are the negatives of a soft rubber? And here's the reality. The harder the rubber compound, the less resistance and the faster the car travels. And so when you use a soft rubber for control, you give up speed. Now some tracks are speed tracks and some tracks are driver tracks. The orange that you see in the background is a fast track. It's all about speed. The orange track is about 65% wide open and 35% driving. You got a 90-degree that goes underneath the bridge that you got to really brake and handle that, and then you go into a very short straight into a donut, and you got to get around the donut. When you come out of the donut, you got a short straight over the bridge, and then you go into some squiggles, and then the lead on coming into the front straight. And that is all the driving you really have to do. The rest of the track is hammer down, wide open. So on the orange track, we will typically use a harder rubber, more like a Wonder, usually a medium Wonder on most of our cars. And we do that because we don't need super traction, we need speed. And then on our Sebring Black track, let me see if I can pull the camera to get a shot of that. It's a driver's track. It's all about turning. Down at that end, you have a donut. And so this track, we're talking about control. And so let me get you back over. So we're talking about control. So anyway, on the black track, oftentimes you might run a softer rubber for traction. Like if you're running, this is a Scale Auto hypercar, and let me get it on close up a little bit. And so with the hypercar, where am I? Here I am. Okay. Forgot what camera I was on. With the hypercar, this is our fastest car that we race in 132. The NSR hypercar with the factory gearing is not as fast as this. We're playing with gearing to get that down, but the bottom line is, if you don't have good traction on your hypercar, you don't have good braking. And if you don't have good braking on a hypercar, you're going to go into the wall. And so on a hypercar, I like a softer rubber where I have more grip. So I'm running the Scalauto Yellow, which is down around 21.5 on the durometer. And so that's what I do with that. Let me get my camera. Use a softer compound for more traction, better handling. Use a hard compound for speed. And then, as you can tell from our sheet, that the softness of the tires is all over the board. The JK Natural is a very soft rubber with 15. The JB Soft Wonder Rubber is at a 17, and the Mid-America and JB Wonder Rubber mids are both at 18. And then the JK Wonder is at 24. So that's the hardest we got, other than the slotted SP30, is at 26 on the durometer. And let's talk about with the slotted for a moment. With the slotted, we run both the SP25 and the SP30. I didn't have a 25 to measure, but the SP30, it appears to be in the realm of a Wonder Rubber, and that's the one that nearly all of us run the most. We like the slotted tires okay. We package them up. We take them and turn them down on the tire chewer, and so that's the one that we run the most on the slotted. I don't know how close it'll focus, but so that's what we run on slotted. On the slotted, you have rims that have lips on the side of them, and I don't think you'll be able to see them, but we'll give it a shot. And so with the rims, the factory says you don't need to glue the tires, but the factory doesn't drive on wooden tracks, I don't think. They got the advantages of magnets and what have you. We found that on wood tracks, especially the orange track where you have the bank, if you don't have these tires glued on, these tires are going to come off the rim, get into your pinion gear, and you're going to lose a race because of it. NSR tires, we do sell NSR. They are a good tire. These are marked fish rubber. I don't know if they're actually fish or if they're actually natural, but they're a good tire. We use them a good bit. And as you can see over here, we make our own tires. And so the reason we do that is most of our customers want tires cut differently than what the factory tires come supplied. And so we glue our tires on the wheels, and what I do first is I put all the wheels on a tire truer, I spin them up, and then I sand them with a very coarse sanding grit, like 100 grit or so. And the purpose of that is just to help the glue be able to adhere to the wheel. And then after I go through the process of sanding all the rims, then I glue up all the rims. And once I get all the rims glued up, then I go to mounting tires, and I have a mini lathe that I usually take the normal stock donuts, I cut them in half, and I can get one set of tires out of each donut normally. And once I get the donuts cut, then I glue them up on the wheel. Then I resize the tire on the wheel if needed, and then I put the tire on my tire truers. Now we have both a Huddy here, and we have a 2-true tire truer. Let me see if I can get you down here with the Huddy and zoom in. 2 tire truers. This is the Huddy. It's an excellent tire truer. One advantage the Huddy has is it's got this piece right here that will let you trim your tires on the wheel while you're turning it. So you can mount them up and trim the edge of the rubber down to the edge of the rim, and that is a wonderful a wonderful feature. And then on the 2 True, the advantage of the 2 True is that I can cut 2 tires at one time. But I do not have the capability of sizing the rubber on the rim when I do the 2 True. So the way I can size is I can take an X-Acto knife and run it against the edge of the rim and size them that way, and it works. But I like that Huddy feature, and if I had that Huddy feature on a 2 True, I would be in tire heaven. But these are the 2 tire truers that we prefer. Mid-America makes a tire truer that we've had some experience with, and it's a nice tire truer. Tire truers come with different material for the abrasives. The Huddys oftentimes will come with a diamond drum or an abrasive drum. There's the advantages of both. The diamond drum will last longer than an abrasive drum. The abrasive drum, however, is very inexpensive, and you can get it in multiple grits, about anything you want. I've got one of my 2 Trues set up with 100 grit, and I got this one set up with I think it's 60 grit. And I like the 60. It is not too aggressive. It does make the work go faster, and it doesn't heat up the rubber as bad. So I'm probably going to change my other one to a 60 also, because with 100, you just grind and grind and grind and grind. I don't know what the grit is on the Huddy, but the 2 True is the one that I make the bulk of our tires with. And I have 2 of them in case one breaks. I got another one to go to. Let's talk about tire sizes. Your rims come in various sizes. Rims, the most popular rims that we use are 13 millimeter OD by 11 for everything but slotted. And in the slotteds we use a 13.2, I think it is. And we use that the most. 13.6 by 9.5 is the slotted wheels. And then we also use their 14s, and sometimes we use their 15s. And we use 13s and 14s mostly on all of our 11 millimeter wide wheels. And the reason let me get the camera on. The reason we use the wider wheels on the different diameter wheels on the 11 millimeters is because on the 11 millimeters you got traction normally because of the width of the tire that you wouldn't have, say, like with a 9.5 on the slotted. And so with the 11 millimeter wide, we will use the 13, usually 13.2 and 14.2. If you use NSR wheels, it's 13.2 and 14.7 millimeter, 13 or 14.7. We don't like much anything over 15 millimeter. Slotted has a 15 millimeter. We will use the smaller diameter rims whenever the track is loose. We will use the medium most of the time, and we will use the larger diameter wheels whenever the track is tight, or if it's freshly glued, we may run the taller diameter. And we do it for multiple reasons, but one reason is we run a higher diameter wheel to lessen traction. I know that doesn't sound like sensible to some of you, but we do that sometimes to lessen traction, because when you have too much traction, then your car just wants to roll over. And rolling over is not a good thing. You don't want your car rolling over. And so sometimes it pays just to lessen the amount of traction on the tire. And so that's when we will run a hard compound and or a larger wheel diameter to lessen traction. To maximize traction, the most traction you would get would be with a lower diameter rim and a softer compound, such as natural. That's going to give you the maximum amount of traction you can have. So if you're out on a loose track and it's slippery, then you would go to a softer compound, or and or a lower diameter rim. And so that's kind of what we do here at Sebring Slot Cars. That's how we use the compounds to our benefit. Some of the guys will have minimum 3 compounds and in each rim size that they choose to use. Nearly all of them will have multiple diameter rims, and they're already tired up and just waiting in the background. And so when you get on a plywood track, you never know how it's going to handle till you get on it. If you come in here at 9 o'clock in the morning and start running, the track will be totally different than it will be in the afternoon. If you come in, say for example, we race on Saturday mornings all day to 4 o'clock. You come in Friday night or Friday afternoon and prep your car. What you get Friday afternoon will probably be different than what you get Saturday morning. Saturday morning, the air hadn't gotten cool yet. The track's probably set a few. We run our air 76 degrees when we're open. We run at 78 degrees when we're closed. And the 78 degree, the 2 degree difference makes a big difference on the track as to how sticky or loose the track is. And so when we come in on Saturday morning and we get the air going, the track's a little sticky. By a couple hours later, 2-3 hours later, the track starts loosening up some. Now, that's if track conditions remain the same. If the track starts rubbering up, then the track will start holding better. When we have a clean track, we spray glue our track in the corners only to help the cars stay in the slot and handle the track. And then after about 100 laps per lane, the track is what we call run in, and that's when the track really gets good. Most of our record laps are set the day or day after that a track has been cleaned and re-glued and has been run in. And so, like say for example, if you come in on Saturday morning and track's freshly glued, during the practice session they'll run it in, and we'll try to get them to run similar number of laps per lane. We ideally would like to see 100 laps per lane before the first race. And so then by the end of that first race, those cars are getting fast, and they're moving, and it only gets better as the day wears on. And part of that is you're getting less and less glue on the track, and if people clean their tires, they'll have less and less glue on their tires, and their cars will even get faster. So that's kind of where we are on tires and rubber and the relationship between tire compounds and track. If the track's cold, then you'd want a softer compound. One of the disadvantages of softer compounds is they wear out faster. And a lot of the guys here some of the guys here run nothing but medium wonder. They just learn to drive it. If it's loose, they just drive a loose car, or tighten it up another way by adjusting the pod or adjusting the chassis, or maybe putting tape across the bottom. There's different ways you can tighten a car up. With me, I prefer a car to be a little bit loose. I like to see the back end of the car move when it goes around a corner, so I don't generally run much anything but wonder rubber. I will sometimes change wheel sizes, and sometimes I'll go to a softer compound, like on the hypercars. I have run the medium compound, and I've run the hard, the medium being the yellow. We've run the white. The white is more like a natural foam, and you get about 1 race or 2 races out of a set of whites, and they're gone. And the yellow worked good for me. The reds work good for me when the track conditions are right. So that's kind of where we are on tires and the different brands and the different rubber compounds. I hope this helps you. Hope the tire truer, they're pretty easy to run. I don't really think you need me to show you how to run a tire truer. You have your adjusting knobs. This is your knob on your hoodie turns the tire in and out. This is the knob that does the two true. It takes it in and out. This knob here, you can preset to the diameter that you want the tire to be. On this one, if I preset it around on the K, that'll get me around an 800 diameter tire. If I preset it, then I just use this brass knob as the feed. On the Huddy, you can preset this small knob to, and they make a kit for it that will give you lines and dashes or numbers. So this big knob is the one that you preset. The little knob is the one that you feed with, or vice versa maybe. I guess it's vice versa. I don't use the Huddy, but there's the two true. The two true is no longer being manufactured, is my understanding, but it's a great tire truer. I wish it was still being made. The Huddy's an excellent tire truer too. The Huddy's the favorite of most slot car racers, but those are the two that we use the most. And so we'll go back. So we like the Huddy, we like the two true. I like the two true the best because I can get more work done faster by doing two tires at a time. So anyway, I hope this helps you. I hope you will visit our Facebook page some, and maybe one day come see us and run some slot cars with us at Sebring Slot Cars. We would enjoy having you come visit, and would like to help you any way we can. I hope our shop talk is helping you. I know today without Steve I'm kind of rambling, but he'll be back. So let's close this out, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.